Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're here at Shanghai for the Chinese Grand Prix and round 3 of the Season 2 Championship. And before we get into this round, let's take a look at the championship going into it. And Leclerc is way on the lead on 51 points with Lewis Hamilton 25 points behind. However, the guys behind him are not too far behind at all. So one bad race for Leclerc will mean the championship will be wide open for everyone else. And now, let's take a look at the starting grid for the Chinese Grand Prix.
Time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and starting alongside is Lucas Faber. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, the Rainmaster, Nico Hülkenberg and Bottas, Leclerc, Perez, Butler and Sebastian Vettel, Gasly, Grosjean, George Russell and Norris, Albon, Kvyat, Robert Kubica and Kimi Raikkonen. Giovinazzi and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
And so it's on to 5 red lights, and it's away we go for the start of this Chinese Grand Prix from 4th on the grid. But it's not been such a great start for us here, and Hülkenberg goes around our outside and our teammate Leclerc does so as well, and that's going to put us down into P6 at the start of this race. But it's Lucas Weber who has the lead of the race, followed by Hamilton and then Verstappen in P3. But behind them it is Sergio Perez, and he is side by side with the two Ferrari cars who have overtaken him down the long straight, and now they are side by side with each other into the hairpin here. And which Ferrari driver is going to come out on top in this battle? Will it be Sebastian Vettel or will it be Pierre Gasly here? And we are still to find out, as they are still side by side heading down the main street. And now it's Romain Grosjean going side by side with Sergio Perez now into the first corner. 2 sets of side by side, and who is going to come out on top in these respective battles here through the first 2 corners here? And now who's going to come out ahead as they come out? And it's still side by side between the Ferraris, but it looks like Perez has got out ahead of Grosjean and now is battling Sebastian Vettel, who has lost out to Gasly, and into the hairpin they go, and they are still side by side here now. And we're going to try and look to see who is going to come out on top in this battle, and it looks like Perez does not take the position from Vettel there. But now it is Lewis Hamilton, and he's on the back of Lucas Weber for the lead of this Chinese Grand Prix. Into the hairpin they go, and can Hamilton make it around the outside of the current race leader? And they are still side by side now heading in to the final corner as Weber defends the position. But that's Ricciardo out of this Chinese Grand Prix. Not good for him, as we see a few cars going into the pits here as Hamilton tries to make a move up the inside into turn 1. Side by side they go, and who will come out on top this time, as Hamilton has the inside line? And will he take the lead of this Chinese Grand Prix? And yes, he indeed does do just that here, and he takes the lead there and on to lap 7, and we are now into the pits for our first pit stop of this race, and losing out a bit there in time to Weber. But as we go a bit ahead, it's Verstappen we're on board with, and it's Hülkenberg with the undercut on Lucas Weber, and he has overtaken the McLaren driver there, but doesn't quite get ahead of Max Verstappen, who we are on board with here. But now it's going to be Nico Hülkenberg on the back of Max Verstappen now, and he's going to try and make a move on the back of the Red Bull driver, and now they are side by side here into the hairpin. A wee bit of a lock up there, and they are still side by side though. And who is going to come out on top in this battle? On board with Verstappen at this moment, and he's got the inside line into the final corner, and he takes the position back from Nico Hülkenberg here. But further behind it's Lucas Weber trying to make a move on Hülkenberg here as they go side by side, and that is Charles Leclerc coming out of the pits just ahead of this group of drivers, and it's still side by side between Lucas Weber and Nico Hülkenberg. And who's going to come out on top between them here? And coming out of the snail section of the first few corners, and which driver is going to come out ahead here as they are still side by side? And that's Devin Butler making it 3 wide into the hairpin here. And who's going to come out on top this time between the 3 of them here? And it looks like it's going to be Hülkenberg, and it's going to be Devin Butler to slot in behind the Renault driver, and then Lucas Weber behind them. And now on to lap 9, and we have got the DRS on Lucas Weber. He's got it as well, but we are able to take the slipstream and go up the inside of him into the long first corner here And can we make the move stick here? And yes, we can. And we take what is currently P15, but it's going to be Nico Hulkenberg here. And now he's on the back of Max Verstappen once more here. And it's going to be also Charles Leclerc on the back of the Alfa Romeo of Giovinazzi, as well as we are also under pressure from Lucas Weber into the hairpin as well. But it is side by side between Hulkenberg and Verstappen, and it's the main battle here in this, and it's Verstappen who's got the inside line, and we are able to also defend from Lucas Weber here. But it's going to be Charles Leclerc on Kimi Raikkonen here into the first corner around the outside, and he makes the move stick there. And now it is going to be Max Verstappen, and now he is on the back of Giovinazzi here, and he's trying to go around the outside of him into the left-hander, and that's going to turn to the inside for Verstappen here. And can he make the move through this big group of traffic here up ahead? And it looks like he has made the move stick, and Hulkenberg is also going to try for the move down the back straight here. And can he also make the move stick as well on the Italian driver for Alfa Romeo? And it looks like yes, he has done so. And we go on board with us now as Butler is making a look on Giovinazzi, and we are making a look on Butler and Giovinazzi as well, but there's just not enough space for us going into the final corner, as they are still side by side here, and we have got DRS, and so is Giovinazzi, as we go 3 wide down the main straight. Hardly enough space for us, but we are able to make the double overtake, or are we, as Butler defends from us there quite aggressively, making contact with our front wheel there, and we're not going to be able to overtake Devin Butler here at this point in time. However, Nico Hulkenberg is going to be trying to make some overtakes here on Max Verstappen once again with some DRS down the back straight, and they are now side by side here. And will the German driver make the move stick on the Red Bull driver, as they are going to be still side by side, but Hulkenberg has got the advantage there and he takes the position, but for how much longer, as on the next lap is going to be Verstappen with some DRS on the back straight once again, and they are now side by side and into the hairpin, and it looks like Verstappen has got the inside line and has taken the position back from the Renault driver of Nico Hulkenberg. And it's going to be later on to the race now, and Hulkenberg is going to get a chance to get back past Max Verstappen here around the outside there, and he makes the move stick in to the hairpin there as we ride on board with the Renault driver now, as he goes into the pits for a second stop here, as well as Devin Butler as well. So they'll go down the order a bit here, but we have now got DRS on Verstappen, and we're going to try and go up the inside of him into the hairpin. Can we make this move stick here? And we are still going to be side by side here, and who will come out on top between us, as Verstappen doesn't give us much room at all into the final corner, and we are forced to let him have the position there. But it's going to be Devin Butler on the back of Nico Hulkenberg outside of the points here, as he's going to try and make the move to try and gain a position on him with some DRS, and Devin Butler will make the mistake unless Hulkenberg can come back at him, but no, he can't. And it's going to be now Valtteri Bottas on the back of Lucas Weber in the McLaren, Bottas in the Mercedes, as he goes to the left here, and they're now side by side into the hairpin here. And who's going to come out on top in this, as Bottas tries to go the long way around here, and can he make this move stick? And it'll turn to the inside for the final corner, and will he come out ahead? And yes, he will there, and this means that the order is still Verstappen in third, ourselves in P4, but now it's Bottas in P5 ahead of Lucas Weber and Sergio Perez. And now we look onto our car, and we can see behind us it's going to be Sergio Perez side by side with Lucas Weber into the hairpin, and Bottas is also going to try and make a move on us here as we go a little bit wide into the corner, as Perez makes the move on Weber and maybe off Bottas as well, but it's not quite enough for Perez, as Bottas keeps P5 and Hamilton wins this race, and we come across the line, and it's going to be P4 in this Chinese Grand Prix.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
And so it's Lewis Hamilton who wins this Chinese Grand Prix, followed by Leclerc, who gets another strong result and ahead of Max Verstappen in P3, and Leclerc still has an 18-point advantage on Lewis Hamilton, and it's going to take some good results from Hamilton to try and overtake Leclerc in the championship. But if you have enjoyed this video, then do leave a like, share the video around, and subscribe to the channel to see more videos on F1 2019. So I will see you next time for another video, and goodbye.